Is it possible that new iterations of ancient techniques could be used to get us to new levels of excellence and help us with anxiety and mental health? The tapping technique is one such method.
So a friend recently told me about this amazing therapy they had called emotional freedom technique, or tapping. After looking online and seeing the numerous health benefits, which we'll talk about later, I decided I have to give it a go. 2 weeks ago I went for a tapping session, so in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you my experience as well as answering the question, does it actually work? But before we get started, you probably want to know a little more about EFT. EFT first came to prominence in 1990 when developer Gary Craig published information about the therapy on his website. EFT is an alternative therapy combining aspects of cognitive behavior therapy with tapping on acupressure points. By tapping into the meridian system, energy flow can be restored along with the body's ability to heal itself. EFT is now backed by science, with enough evidence for the National Institute for Healthcare and Excellence to have rated EFT's evidence strong enough to warrant further research as a trauma treatment. Studies have shown positive effects on the brain, stress reduction, genes, anxiety, depression, and effective treatment for PTSD. It is also being used in places like Rwanda to help relieve genocide survivors of trauma. So a couple of weeks ago, I booked in to see my local tapping therapist with no idea or expectations of what I was getting myself into. I was recommended Humphrey, a qualified counsellor who has been a therapist for over 23 years and an EFT practitioner for the past 15 years. The session begins by Sally-Ann explaining the meridian points. These are the 9 tapping points used in standard non-clinical EFT. The karate chop, the top of the head, the eyebrow, the side of the eye, under the nose, the chin, the collarbone, and under the arm. Sally-Ann then asks if there's anything on my mind, and then we simply begin the tapping sequence. The tapping seems to put me in ease and makes answering the questions less daunting. By focusing on a stressful thought that's creating tension in your body and gently tapping your fingers on these specific points, you send a calming signal to your brain. This can help rewire your reaction to the stressful thought or experience going forward. After a couple of rounds, I started unearthing thoughts and beliefs that I didn't even know existed. One major take home from my session was how I felt like a failure. However, tapping helped me reveal that I was basing my ideology of success on values and beliefs that I don't personally subscribe to. Halfway through the session, my body began involuntary shaking, and Sally-Ann explained that this was the blockages beginning to move, and that a tapping session is the equivalent of having 6 therapy sessions in one. As the session progressed, thoughts and feelings I never even knew existed rise to the surface. A pivotal point in the session for me was when I talked to my younger self, helping me to release some childhood trauma. What is trauma? Trauma is our body's way of keeping us safe during traumatic events. Our body can only handle a limited amount of stress. When an experience exceeds our body's ability to cope, the trauma is stored in our body's tissues. It has been reported that animals will naturally shake to release tension after a life-threatening event. However, as humans, we've been socially conditioned to stoically just grin and bear it. According to Harvard Medical School, untreated past trauma can have a massive impact on your future health. The emotional and physical reaction it triggers can make you more prone to serious health conditions, including heart attacks, strokes, obesity, diabetes, and cancer. After the session was over, I felt 1,000 times lighter, like a weight had been lifted, and this new energy has stayed with me ever since. If you've ever experienced breathwork or plant medicine, I'd say it's a very similar experience to this. It's also made me reevaluate my core values and prioritize what is really important to me. The past 2 weeks I've noticed that I've eaten and slept less, however had more energy and been more productive. I've also spent more time meditating, stretching, drawing, playing guitar, being outside, connecting with friends. These are all things that I love to do, but for some reason I never feel like I have enough time to do. I've also deleted all social media off my phone, and this ongoing pain I've had in my left foot for months and months has miraculously disappeared. Sally-Ann also explained to me some ways that I can continue this therapy from home and ways that you guys could try out this therapy for free. There are follow-along YouTube channels. Good recommendations are Brad Yates and Donna Eden. Of course, there is also an app, The Tapping Solution by Nick Ortner, which has a free and a paid-for version. And my personal favourite is just simply tapping your meridian points, which is a great way to feel grounded and relaxed throughout the day. If tapping sounds like something that could benefit you, I highly suggest just giving it a go. I'll put links to all the resources that I've mentioned throughout this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.